So you'd like to know about the training paces and how we came up with those. It's kind of a twofold situation. One is we came up with VDOT tables. A friend of mine, Jimmy Gilbert, who used to run for me and then worked for NASA as a physicist, a mathematician, and a computer programmer, very bright guy. He did the initial calculations for the VDOT numbers based on people's race times. So based on how fast you can race, we determined how fast you could train for different types of benefits of training. That's a physiological thing. In other words, we know that biomechanically you improve the most probably by doing faster rep type training with more rest. Your cardiovascular system, your whole aerobic power system probably benefits most by working hard for 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes at a time. And your threshold works best if you're working at about 86-88% of your VO2 max. So knowing your race speeds, we also know what speed, we can calculate what speed is associated with your aerobic power, and then we calculate different fractions of that speed for the different types of training that you do. Yeah, I think one of the another benefit other than determining training paces is to be able to predict what kind of time you might run in a race that you haven't run recently, or maybe you've never run it at all. So you can use a recent race time to predict other race times. Obviously, it's not going to be as accurate, say, using a 800 or 1500 time to predict a marathon as it would be to use a half marathon to predict a marathon. But physiologically, we can say this race performance is equal to that race performance. And we came up with a lot of that by testing many runners over the years and determining what their aerobic power was, what their economy was, and what speed they raced at races that lasted different durations of time. In other words, you can race at for a 30-minute period of time at a certain fraction of your aerobic power, and you can race for only 15 minutes at a higher fraction, and so on. So knowing what percentage or what fraction of your aerobic power you can race at for different durations of time, it's relatively easy to predict what you should be able to do for a different race other than the one that you're using for predicting.